So what I'm gonna try to share with you guys now, how to start is not the best, is not the worst, is basically what we trust. Okay, watching Alex conference, he basically is in the same page like our head of player development program, Carlos Frade. They are pretty the same, but always we talk about basketball and how we try to teach basketball. Some small topics have to be on the table. Basketball is basketball, so there are too many ways to teach basketball. And even if now the tendency is to go over reaction, decision making, and trying to run away from repetitions and so on, I respect coaches who still wants to work in that way. Okay, it doesn't mean what we are trying to explain here is the right way. Basketball is not numbers. In math, 2 plus 2 always is 4. There's no way. But basketball, the way to teach how to play is completely open. It's completely open. It's on you as a coaches to find the way to reach your goals and the way you like to play. Okay, this is something I like to clarify always and before to start talking. And once again, what we try to do in Alba now, we are going to be focusing in youth program, how to build the idea, and what we trust is not the best way, it's not the worst, it's just the way we like to work, okay? Like yesterday, I expect millions of questions from your side. So once again, if you feel free just to stop me at any time, and we can keep talking, okay? I don't know how much you have heard about our program in the last couple of years, or 7. But let's say we have been pretty successful. Or what people know is we have been successful in the youth program competition. We have won several championships, and we promote several players to the pro team. But behind that, there are too many more things. And that's what I'm going to try to share with you. The very beginning is the idea of one club. So probably majority of you who are in professional clubs or first, second division clubs, pro team is in one universe, and the rest of the club is in different world. For us, that's the key. The key is to show everybody in the club we have to work in the same page, and we have to build from Luke Sigma, our key player in the EuroLeague team, until the last guy or girl in the under-9 team. We all are in the same logo. So it's our company, and we all are involved. This is key. It's key. It's not very difficult to link the under-9 with the under-10, under-10 with under-12, 14, 16, 17, whatever. It's not a big deal. Sometimes happen. It happened to us several years ago. Our club was pro team, Leitung Sport. It means under-19, under-17, the competitive teams, and then the very youth. Let's say the guys under 14, 12. It was completely different islands, and what made us different was to build this one unit. One unit, one club, all in the same page, and second, to believe it could be done. So you have to trust what is your goal. In our case, our goal was to build one club with some topics we are going to show now, but believing it is possible. It is possible to build one club where we all try to talk the same language. I'm not talking about English or German. I'm talking about basketball language. And one club where the connection and the belief of we can reach the goal competitive basketball promotion and promoting players to the pro team. When I mention players, at the same time, I mean coaches. This is something we will talk later, okay? When we try to promote players, it's not only players from the under 14, 16, 19, second team, pro team. We like also to promote our own coaches. Through the year, we get average two applications every week. Every week, we have at least average 2 applications from coaches from Germany, Italy, Spain, Poland, everywhere, everywhere. And all of them, I mean, a nice CV, super good coaches. And all of them try to apply for assistant coach position in the pro team, second team head coach, second team assistant coach, MBBL head coach, and so on, which is completely fine. But we don't trust on this idea. What we trust is you want to be part of our family, you have to get into our club and start from the base. Start in under 12, in school, in under 14, and keep growing up with us, because by the time this coach who started with us in under 14 several years, and he understood how we want to work, he understood our way to play basketball, he's going to do it in under 16 and later in under 19. And he is not probably the best possible coach we can hire, but he's the coach we built, and he's the coach we want to have, because he has the Alba values. Even being worse than other coaches around, he's the right coach for us. In the same page for players. And this is topic we will talk tonight, talking about the scouting and how we recruit players. Not to be recruited is not only factor to be good player. Also, there are more values out of the court to be recruited.
Coach, I got a question.
Sorry.
You have like players that end their basketball career, they start coaching for you because they know the system and players.
Less than we would like, less. Nowadays, back in the times it was easier. Nowadays, it's very difficult because guys 18, 19, 20 years old, the life offer they have is huge. It's not only living in a big city where you can do almost everything. It's internet. Life is changing. So 20 years ago in a small town, you finish playing basketball. If you want to do something, you're going to be in the gym. So you're going to start with the little kids, and you're going to become basketball coach in your own club. Nowadays, it's more difficult, but we try to do it. This is one of the topics. Okay, as a global idea, I already mentioned internal promotion. This is key for us. I think the philosophy, the internal promotion, starting from bottom, and to involve everybody. Okay, I think I already mentioned those topics. Involve everybody in the same idea. This is if somebody really doesn't feel he's part of the project, or he doesn't trust the project, it's better to leave. Good luck, thank you, and we will see. So the youth program goals, this is key, the 3 big values. And the triangles, those triangles represent for us what is our club. So especially basketball promotion. In countries like Germany or Poland, where basketball is not key sport, it's football, then with gap, some sports, and then basketball. For us as a members of the business, is key to promote basketball. We will go deeper in what is basketball promotion, but our community should keep growing up about members, about just number of people who is connected with basketball, because among this quantity, also the quality is going to be much better by the time. Competition and players promotion or coaches promotion, we will go deeper, but for us, this is Alba, those triangles. So imagine if we have, let's say, 1,000 kids in any age, in 2018 or 2015, we have 1,000 kids playing basketball. Probably 7 years later, only one is going to play in the highest possible level, NBA, EuroLeague, BBL, Pro A, whatever it is. 1 or 2 or 3 are going to be on the peak in this triangle, okay? But everybody who start playing basketball with us are going to be part of the second triangle. The second triangle is even more important than the first one, because anyhow we are going to build some players, okay? And they are going to play because it's good also for them, and they are selfish, and they want to be professional players and to get contract and be in highlights and be famous and be on screen and whatever. But the 999 other players who were with us, who grew up with us, are part of our family. And they are going to be, some of them, basketball coaches. Some of them, the next referees. Some of them, or a lot of them, just Alba fans who are going to pay for the ticketing, or who is going to help us to have bigger budget. And many of them are going to be CEO in different companies. So when you grew up in a good environment, playing basketball, enjoying, you're going to keep that on your mind. And then 10 years later, when you become a CEO in a big company, and Alba knocked your door asking for some sponsoring, probably it's going to help. So that's why to keep the Alba community, even if they are not super good players, for us is key. It's key about all the projects I'm going to show now. This is basically what we do about basketball promotion. We are the biggest club in Germany, talking about the license. We have around 2,000 licenses. I think, wait a second. Now we're going back 100 years after, we're going back to the beginning, which is, what is the closest drill to the game? Play. The closest to the game is play. You know, the game is 5-on-5. What is the closest? Play 5-on-5. If not, 4-on-4. If not, 3-on-3, 2-on-2, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3. This is the closest, because at the end is playing. So I remember it was 99, 20, 2000, 99, 2000. I was assistant coach in the ACB and with Coach Manolo Hussein. And everybody complained about him, but the players were super happy, because every day in practice was warm-up, shooting drills, pum pum, get warm, one defensive drill, 1-on-1, 4-on-4, 2-on-1, something like that, one full court drills talking about fast break, and play 5-on-5. It was the whole year, the whole season. Players were super happy. We come, we warm up, and we play. And a lot of coaches were complaining, because Manolo doesn't do any specific drill or whatever. But at the end, we can be critical with him, but he was doing what we are talking nowadays. We have to make the drills close to the game. And the closest drill is to play. Then we as a coaches, we have to be smart. And now we have to set some rules. So we guide our kids to do what we are looking for. You know what I mean? It's not just to give a ball and play. No, now let's set some rules. Now, today we want to play trap on the pick and roll. So it's mandatory to play at least one pick and roll or one hand off before to shoot the ball. So just with this basic rule, we are gonna play double team for sure in every offense because we make it mandatory, okay? Or we want to improve our outlet pass and especially our second pass to push the game. So we're gonna play, but it's forbidden to take any dribbling in the first half court. So we can be creative. But, okay, talking about what we try to teach in practices is to build from zero to. There are any question about this?
What is profis?
Where?
Starting to learn profis.
Profis means the pro team, sorry.
Okay.
Starting to learn how the pro team structure and situations, in the rules. You know, it's not only, we mentioned the 3 rules we have as a club in defense, but also we have a lot of rules in the pro team, how to be integrated, okay? Because since under 19, we try to play same kind of basketball. Well, this is a topic we will go later deeper, which is individual practice, player development. This is very well connected. We set goals, we transfer, we try to find the transfer from the individual improvement to the game, okay? But now we shouldn't spend much time on that.
All players participate in this individual practice program?
Yes and no. So we are super lucky in Berlin. We are super lucky because I don't know how it works here in Poland. No. I'm going to talk about school. In Germany, still, it comes from very back in the times, still a lot of sport school. In every city, they have, I mean, in Berlin, there are three sport schools where the kids from every sport, they are allowed to have a special schedule. So, you know, there are a lot of people who work in the swimming pool, and they work from 6 in the morning till 10. They go for school, and then from 4 to 8, they are 8 hours on the swimming pool or whatever. So for basketball, it allowed us to have in every generation between 8 to 10 players in every age at this sport school. It means from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they can come to have practice in the morning. So not everybody is in this school. Not everybody is in this school. We have a couple more schools where we can go before school starts. So we practice 7 to 8. And we have some players who are good prospects also for us, who are studying in regular school. So we try to find before practice, after practice, on the weekend, we try to find time to work individually with them.
So how many coaches do you have dedicated to one group?
A lot. A lot.
One group?
Too many. No. Basically, we have involved in what is going to be the player development department, Pro B coaches, two under 19, 3 in under 16, the under 18 girls, the pro coach for the women also involved, and yeah, and our head of the player development. We're talking about
Physical education teachers at schools.
No. This is in a school. What we can do is to use the facility. Okay. So we have the agreement with the school where in the time they have for practices, we go and we work with them. Then in the afternoon, we work for the conditioning, physios, and so on. This is on us in the afternoon, the conditioning part. Yeah, well, we already mentioned that. The psychologist program, not only for players, also for coaches, and sometimes even for families. You know, it helps. It helps when the biggest problem we have is connection. Nowadays, a lot connection between kid and parents, problems at home. So our psychologists get involved and try to reach it out. Okay, conditioning. What to say? Every day is more important. So we cannot teach how to be 210. We can teach how to be stronger, quicker, fast, to educate your body. And this is something we are not in rush, because in Germany we are full of late bloomers. So people who at the age of 16, 17, body is still kid. So they look 14, 15. So we are not in rush. They have to, like in basketball, every age have their own speed. Body-wise, every kid has their own speed. So we cannot work the same with the kid who is 15 years old and already have beard, and with the kid who is 15 years old and still looks like 12. So everyone have to work individually. We try to have good coaches for that. This is key. Good facilities, workload management. This is very important, what I just mentioned about everything. Long-term vision, not rush, not rush. Everything is connected. We will talk later, deeper. Not rush. Let's see what is next, but let's keep in mind what is in the long term. Small groups, and we have all connected. We have our head of performance, which is the head coach of conditioning coaches. He manages also physios, doctors, and our coaches. The coach is the guy who is between physio and conditioning coach, bringing the player back from the injuries. So all of them are a team, and they have to be in the same page, working all together. And for sure, improving never stop. Off-season workout. We will go also later. This is post-season, talking about how to improve individually and physically. Post-season is the best time. Is where you don't have any pressure, you are not in rush, and it's the best time to improve.
Coach, so you have dedicated conditioning coach for every group. From what age you start?
And the 15. Okay. And the 15 we start, let's say, professional management.
How many times the conditioning coach work with this youngster in a week?
Well, it depends. Every player is different, but average in under 15, I would say 2. And the 16, we try to go for 3.
And this is another practice, or this is before practice?
Before, after.
Okay.
Yeah, because our facility is very small. It's just one basketball court, but next to the wall is a weight room, so they can jump in and out. So it's very easy to finish the practice, go to the weight room, finish the weight room, go to the court to have the transfer.
Okay. And before this under 15, there are only basketball coaches who are working with kids on the basketball, but also with their physical.
Very basic in both. So in under 14, if you go and watch one of our practices, you're not going to see anything which is going to make you say, "Show, hey, nice." Kids playing up and down, trying to not stop, trying to keep the attention on the basketball, trying to teach them to recognize what they are doing, but very simple. We don't do anything like super good. And also, conditioning-wise, in general, German kids are bad when they are kids. You have in mind the football players from Germany who are like super athletes, or the guys from the national team, but it's not true. In general, the kids are not very good in coordination and so on. So we have to go at the age of 13, 14, we have to go very slow and very simple. So let's say in under 15, we make like a group of players. We think they are going to be the guys who keep growing up with us. So they start with 2 practices, 3 in under 16, 2, 3, and 3, 4 in under 19. It doesn't mean it's weight room like leaving weight crazy. Maybe it's stretching. Maybe it's to avoid body posture. So No rush. What I have learned is no rush. I come from Spain. In Spain, everything is completely different. At the age of 16, everybody's done. Body-wise and mental-wise. The maturity of basketball is completely different. The knowledge of one kid under 14 in Spain is like the knowledge of one kid under 16 in Germany. Because in Spain we start pretty soon. It means when they are 17, many of them are bored because they have done everything. So, suggestion after have been in different countries, no rush. No rush. You don't need to win the under 12. Under 12 is just to have fun. Whoever wins, high five. Nobody remember who won the under 12 5 years ago. Who cares? Somebody get a medal in a wardrobe at home, and 10 years later, what is this? Rubbish. So it is not important. If I can go back to Spain and I have the chance to change something, is no rush. If you now this week is the new under 12 national championship by clubs. By clubs. So this is new this year. For several years in Spain, we have under 12 national championship by regions, 19 regions. It brings 5,000 to 6,000 people to the city where they organize. TV, everything is a big show. Now they make by clubs first time. So now all the big clubs are focused also in mini basket. They are going to destroy half of the players because now under 12 is going to be like the NBA. The players knows everything at the age of 12. When they get 16, they are tired. They have done everything. They have played all kind of defense, all kind of offense. They don't have anything else to get hungry, you know? That's why being in Germany is completely different. Malte Delo is 21 years old, playing in our pro team. He grew up with us. At the age of 16 in his under 16 year, he was 182. 182. And probably you know about Franz Wagner, who is player from 2002 also in the NBA right now. They were mates in the same team, same position. Both point guard, shooting guard, three position, both. At the age of 19, Malte was already 196. Franz, already in the pro team. Malte grew up, good frame, good skills. Franz went to the NBA. Malte jumped into the pro team. Nowadays, it's 2 meters, and he can play 1, 2, 3. And a super solid player, but in completely different speed. For him, was much, much later. So at the age of 16, he wasn't ready. His body wasn't ready. But at the age of 19, he was ready to jump into the second team, into the first team. So the maturity and conditioning is super important to go very individually.
I have a question about off-season workout.
Mm-hmm.
You make practices or just give the players the plan?
Say again, sorry?
Do you make some training practices or just give the plan for players? And
No.
they say?
No, we work all together, but in the different routine. So when the season is over, for us is normally end of May. They have a couple of days off where we coaches meet individually with all the kids. We think and we share thoughts about the season, and we plan the next season, and we coaches meet to plan who should be part of the roster in any team for the next season, and then we start a couple of days building the team. When it's done, the next level is player development off-season workout. So we take over the teams, we work not really by position, but we're going to talk later. This is a topic for tonight.
One more question about vacation of off-season. You practice all the year or just take
No.
vacation for
resting is part of the process. So normally we like for the kids to have at least 3 to 4 weeks completely off basketball. 3 to 4. It doesn't mean they can lift some weight by their own, going home or whatever, they can do it. But at least 3 to 4 weeks with no basketball. You know, you have to clean your mind and to get this feeling of hungry of basketball again. Okay? Problem is with kids who are in national team, because in Germany they take a lot of weeks with the national team. So since June, many of them are in the training camp, and then imagine the under 16 guys who finish around, I'm not sure, 10th to 14th of August this year, and we want to start on the 21st. So we have to go longer for holidays with those specific guys. But for us, it's key. They need to rest.
How many coaches from Spain work on your club?
Second,
How many coaches from Spain work on Alba Berlin?
well, head coach of the pro team, player development coach, head of the youth, head coach in women, and for next season, head coach in under 18 girls. Yeah, but you know, Berlin is super cosmopolitan, so we have coaches from Spain, from Italy, Serbia, Croatia, Turkey, probably just a few Germans, probably. Polish. Yeah, actually, our head coach in under 16 is Polish root. Mhm. Okay, this is a topic very sensitive, because this is something coaches cannot do a lot on that, you know? So talking about facilities, to have a decent facility, we as a coaches, I mean, we can tell what we would like to have, but it's not on us. It's about club managers to have good facilities. It's going to be key. Well, it's going to help. You know, if you have more practice time and you have a good facility with full of baskets and you have basketballs, good quality and whatever, it's going to help. It's going to help. To play basketball, at the end you need some kits, 1 basketball and 2 baskets. But if you can improve it, it's going to help a lot. Couple of apartments. We have just a few scholarships. We are very focused in German players, very focused. So we have 2 apartments for boys, 1 for girls, and we try to recruit just in Germany. Okay, why? The BBL rules make mandatory to have 50% of the roster for Germans and 50% of non-Germans. It means 6 German players in every game in professional team, and 6, whatever, US, Serbia, Spain, China. So for us, main goal in the long term is to have those 6 players, the 6 German players playing in our pro team, they should come from our youth. Right now, if everything works good, next year we will have 4 coming from our youth in the last 5 years. And the goal, if we can keep it, is, I don't know, by 2027 maybe, to have 6 to 7 players Germans. Or there are one exception, if you come to Germany before under 17, after 3 years you can play as a German. So sometimes we recruit international, but they should come before under 17. So at that point we think if it makes sense to recruit or not. School life, this is a very important topic as well. We have one coach who is in charge of connection with the schools. Our under 19 coach, besides to be the under 19 coach full time, he's in charge of contact all the principal, tutor, head teacher, or wherever in every school where we have players. It doesn't mean 19 schools. We are talking about 5 different schools. but we should know what happened in school, because to play basketball, we need to be conditioning healthy. We need to have good basketball coaches to have a good technique and good knowledge, okay? We have to be mental ready, okay? And our brain have to be in shape. So to play basketball is not only about your body. To play basketball, everything is here. If you don't work on this muscle, by the time your muscle is going to be lazy and you're not going to be a very good basketball player. That's why for us it's very important to keep everybody studying. Even when they finish high school and they are already pro, we try to push them to do something. Study a language, study online, study something easy where you can go through the years, and maybe instead of 4 years university, you go for 8 years university. But your brain is your biggest muscle. So this is key for us. That's why we have a partner company where they can get extra lessons and some help. Alba Berlin coach and technology, and this is not very interesting, but basically is a university where we can send our players to keep studying marketing, sport management, and yeah, some of them. Then technology, we will talk later tonight with how we do in player development. For that, this is the key, you guys. There are no other question. The key for the whole project, the biggest key, coaches. There are no one more answer. Basketball coaches, player development, and this is connected, obviously. Athletic coaches, physiotherapists, and our psychologists. To have, I mentioned at the beginning, to have the right people. It doesn't mean to have the best. You should hire the best for you, for your goals, for your program. So even if they are not the best in market, somebody who understands what you try to reach.
So, is the only job being a coach for Alba Berlin for those some extra professionals?
Well, right now, obviously, pro team staff are professional. Pro B staff is professional, and the 19 is professional. Basically, he runs the MBBL team and is school connection. Okay. Beside that, conditioning coaches, physiotherapists, they are full time. Okay. Everybody else who is coach, and this is as an Alba philosophy, they are coaching a team, or if it's a low level, 2 teams, and doing a project. Project could be going to school. So the most common profile in Alba is, coach who Monday to Friday, he does 16 hours at the school, normally in 3 days, okay? 16 hours at school is 12 hours helping the PI teacher and 4 hours running a team or doing the extra activity, basketball and whatever, 16 hours. And then if you're running light on sport, this is the half of the profile, 16 plus 20, so it's a full-time job. If you're running under 12, you're running maybe under 12 and under 10. So you run 2 teams plus school, this is full-time job. This is basically the profile. But we are full of projects. Do you remember at the very beginning when we are talking about Kinder Plus Sport, Snoopa, Grosses Zeigen? Those are projects. We have people, coaches, working during the mornings at the office, managing everything related with that. Questions? You look tired, guys. We are well, basically, just to end up, what I mentioned before, last steps or next steps is the beginning. The example I mentioned before about the guy who was 17 years old, this is key. all this process, what we have mentioned before, is just the beginning. We are talking about maybe 10 years for a kid who start in under 9, and then 10 years later is under 19, and he thinks, 10 years playing basketball, what else? Now is the beginning. When you finish under 19, now is the beginning. Prove yourself, go second team, play at Pro B, Pro A, and then let's go for the next level. So, questions in general?
Do you know how many hours practices a week every team?
Yeah, in a normal week, we try to play with everybody 2 games on the weekend. This is kind of
Any team?
any team in Leitung sport. Let's say under 14, we try to play 2 games. So under 14, they play under 14 and all together under 16. Our under 60 team, they play under 16 national competition and under 18 in Berlin. Our under 19 team, we play under 19 in national competition and senior 4th division in the region. Okay? And Pro B, they have players with double license. So let's say after the weekend with 2 games, normally Monday is a day off. Monday is a school day, is a physio day, maybe some workout with some of them, but no basketball.
Games are on Sunday and Saturday only?
Yeah. From time to time, but very, very few times during the week. Normally, talking about national competition, you have to do it on the weekend. So Monday's off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have individual workout in the morning with all the guys who are allowed to come, and team practice in the afternoon. Team practice means basketball practice and individual workout also with the conditioning coach. And Fridays, morning is off. In the afternoon, we have team practices, and then we are back on the weekend, ready to play.
Coach, I have a question, because you said that your second team is in other city, right?
Yeah, let's say, 25 kilometers.
Do Alba Berlin coaches work there, or there's a different...
No. This is agreement we have, and I mean, as we mentioned with the drills, we want our players to feel they are already representing different club, but we want to guide that. So the agreement we have is the coaches are Alba coaches. So we spend some money in this team because it's helpful also for Bernau, because half of the budget comes from us. So, and they are fine. They understand it's a good help for them, and they are fine following our rules. So the Pro B team, being Bernau, play like Alba Berlin. And we share a lot of players. Players with Pro B license playing with the Pro team, and players in the MBBL under 19 playing in Pro B. So the connection is completely, and the coaches are Alba coaches. Because, I mean, it's not throw out then the guys on the pool and...
I thought you got some, like one coordinator who's going there and,
No, basically the 2 coaches are under our umbrella.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, when have you start some kind of selection? Because for sure a lot of kids want to play, let's say, from Berlin in Alba. So what do you have with this?
I would
some space for them? Or?
I would say we start the really selection at the end of under 14, because as I mentioned before, we have 2 teams in under 14, team 1, let's say, team yellow, team blue, 15 players each. It means 30 players, okay? At the beginning of the season, all of them in the same level. We don't care who is good, who is bad. We work with all of them in the same level. They play in Berlin, and then we play the finals in Berlin. We normally get one of the spot to keep going. You know, after Berlin is northeast of Germany, then is north of Germany, and then the top 4. In these 3-4 rounds, we go with the best 15. Okay, and from this best 15, we make the under 15 the season after. So they are the base. 1, 2, 3 can go straight to team 1 in the JBBL, but basically this is the group of guys who are gonna build the under 15 team, and this is first time we make the selection.
Okay, and what about this guy on order, which can get in this team?
That's why you remember the triangles we have. We have a lot of teams.
Oh, okay.
A lot of we keep everybody playing. We keep, and sometimes players who in under 14 they were good, but for a reason they jump out of the Lighton sport. They play in social team. They get stronger, taller, whatever, and they jump into the team 1. You know, at the end, you are in Alba. Maybe you come back to the team 1.
And there is any difference between team 1, team 2, team 3rd, and etc. In hours of in practices?
Yes.
How many practices has the first team, the second team, and
All the teams who we call it Lighton Sport, they have 4 team practices a week. Okay. Then we have one team in between Lighton Sport and social basketball. We have one team in between in under 15 and in under 17. Okay, this team practiced 3 times because this is the guys who they didn't make the team, but they are good enough, and maybe they can make it. So they have conditioning coach, and they have 3 practices a week, and maybe the year after they jump into team 1. Because, as I told you, many late bloomers, guys who now they are 183, and they come after summer and they are 193. And suddenly they are handsome and muscles and unbelievable. So they change a lot.
Do you have any base of drills for every contest in every category?
No. But this is a question I always get. How is the plan? How is the drills? No. We meet now. Let's say for us now is pre-season. Okay, we are going to go on holidays in 2 weeks, but now is pre-season because we already start working with the next season. Now we talk a lot. Now we analyze how is our team, who are the important guys, how should we play to keep improving everybody. So what kind of profile do we have? Do we have big guys? Do we have not athletic guys? Do we have guys who are kind of pointers? Because in Germany it's very difficult to find a pointer, true pointer. Not somebody who brings the ball up dribbling with right hand. It's somebody to understand what happened on the court. It's very, very difficult. So do we have? Because if we have it, we have to care about him. He's a key player. It has a big value. If we don't have, everybody can bring the ball. So we have 7 pointers. Doesn't matter who is. So what kind of basketball? We have a big man. We have a big man who right now is very bad, but he's going to be 210. How to involve him? So if we have a 210 guy, very bad, 0 skills, still his body in process, should we play for him and to get him the press? Because he's going to run, he's going to catch the ball, and now is coming his turnover, or he's missing the shot. So he's going to get depressive, and all the teammates are going to point him out, right? So how to protect him? Let's make easy game for him. So at the beginning, we are not going to play for you straight. We are going to play for you in second idea. So you're going to play off the ball, and the guards are going to build the advantage. And now when your defender is helping, we are going to teach you how to show your hands to try to finish, and especially how to attack the offensive rebound. And now you going and catching offensive rebound because your player is helping somebody. You catch offensive rebound and you shoot the ball. Now you're going to feel super proud of yourself. So your self-confidence is going to improve. This is an example how to build the plan for the season. So how to play, why, what drills to do, how to build our basketball game. Every team is different. So if we all now get the paper and we think how an under 14 team should play, let's make it. How should play in our, we are all a coaching staff in under 14 team in Krakow. We are going to be the second best team in the league, okay? So we have a not super good size, we are average, and we have 2-pointers. How should play our team?
Fast and aggressive. Fast and
We are not very tall, so we want to play quick, fast, and good intensity, aggressive. Okay, what else? We are going to build our offense through the one-on-one, getting the advantage. Okay, what else?
we have to swing the ball a lot.
We are going to play basically with no bigs. Maybe we are going to play probably 5 open, right? Because we don't have bigs. Okay, some of we are small, but they have some bigs probably. So let's find a way to attack those bigs. Okay, but now we finished the season. We were second. Hey, high five. We are proud. But now we get the next generation. Okay, and now in the next generation, we have 4 guys who are the tallest in the league. How are we going to play? Are we going to play full court, aggressive, 5 open? No. We need to find, we have 4 big guys. This is a dream, okay? It's a dream for everybody. And now we have to find a way who is going to help those 4 big men to develop. We are going to try to do on the side. But now in our roster, how to find a way to help those big men. Is there any big man who can play as a 3? Let's try. Is any big man who can play as a point guard? You remember his famous Pau Gasol in under 16 was playing point guard. Maybe we can try. But the game is going to be completely different. We are not going to go run and gun. So that's why when people ask about how's your season plan, I said, it depends. Every year is going to be different. And even in the same year, we are going to change some topics because we are not magicians. So we plan, we are going to play high speed, okay? In our first under 14 team, we're going to play in a good rhythm, good speed, and 5 open. But then we realize playing 5 open, we don't have enough room to play one-on-one because we are too close. 5 men is too many behind the arc. We have to take care to get rid of one of them, and maybe he play in both sides or in a weak side. And now, in a step of 5, we have 4, we have bigger room to play one-on-one. And we change during the year. We cannot go from side to side every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So we plan, and we go with the plan. And what cannot happen is we lost 2 games in a row. The plan is shit. We have to change the plan. So delete everything, let's plan again. No, it doesn't work. So let's think slowly all together. Let's see what could make sense. Let's follow the plan. And small changes are allowed. But we cannot break down everything because everything was chaos. Also, we need time to develop the idea. If we decide to go for full court speed, 5 open, let's invest time and trust yourself. Okay? Not everything is going to work every year after 2 weeks. Sometimes you need longer. So trust your plan and get people involved. I don't know how is your club, but even if you work as a different mini clubs, if you have somebody who bring everybody in and you work as a club all together, super. It's going to be easy to plan all together. But even if you are in this kind of clubs where you are using different facilities, so you don't see each other every day, and it's very difficult to talk about basketball inside your club, have a coffee with the coach who was running those kids the year before. Ask him or her how should be the next step for them. Talk to people in the club who has watched games. Talk to the players. Sometimes the players are going to tell you some ideas you didn't think about. So with all the info, set the basics and start working step by step. Trust your plan. And then maybe Christmas is time to reset. Should we adjust here? Should we keep the idea? It's time to check.
Have you got some place? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Have you got some place where, I don't know, coaches in your club can share your knowledge?
This is key.
Further something?
This is key. This is key, and it's one of the big values we have. In the small facility we have, we share the same office. The same office is shared by the pro team coaching staff and the youth, the under 19, pro B, and the 16. The same office for all the coaches. So they are working together. It's a bit smaller than this room, tables, screens, computers. So every day, everybody see everybody. This is key. This is key because you are the pro team coach. I'm the under 19, and you know I had a nice game on the weekend or important game or whatever, so we can talk. You know how the under 19 players are doing. This is key. To have a good communication and a coffee machine there is key. To have a coffee machine, to share this 5 minutes between practices, or when you finish, I'm going to start, or I came early, and we can share couple clips because you are cutting down your game on the weekend, and you are doing it screen, and we can watch how you are doing. So it's not only about basketball knowledge, it's about how to use the tools. So to share time is key.
And something like, I don't know, club server, like in Valencia, for example?
Yeah.
Have you got something like that?
We will talk about our Smata base. Is in our case. It's a software where we have everything from.
Your philosophy, your drills, your something.
We have all the practices, so everybody can watch all the practices from everybody else. We have the player's profile. We have the player development profile for each player. So everything is online. And this is very important because when we talk about player development, keeping in mind that not one coach is coaching one player during the whole year. We all coach all the players because the groups in player development, it doesn't mean the 2 point guards from the NBBL are working together. Maybe it's 1 point guard NBBL, 1 point guard JBBL, 1 under 18 girl, plus 1 big under 15, because the topic we want to work is left hand pocket passes, for instance. And then we have 3 point guards and 1 big, and they are going to work together with 1 coach, who is maybe the Pro B coach. So everybody have to be involved. That's why we have good communication and coaches meeting every 3 weeks, more or less.
And what you've presented.
Great. It was
Does Alba as a club work with small teams from a region?
as a cooperation.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a good question. This is a very good question. Actually, Berlin is a very big city, many clubs, and we try, and this is something we take serious, we try to respect everybody. That's why we don't recruit in Berlin until under 15. It means all those small clubs, schools, this small club who has one generation where 3 players are super good, and they will not have this in the next 10 years. They are going to win the under 12. So for this school or for this small club, it's super. For them, it's going to be energy for the next 10 years, For us to win the under 12 on the under 14, it's not going to change our club. It's good, because everybody likes to win. Every coach wants to win. Every player likes to win. But it's not going to change anything. That's why we allowed everybody to work by themselves. And it's true, we have many, many corporations, partner clubs. So many of them, when they have one player, which is completely different than the rest of the group. They have a, let's say, second division under 14 team, okay? A small school or a small club. But they have one kid who is amazing. He's in a different level. Many times during the last under 14 year, they send the kid to us. Because for the kid also, is the next step to be more competitive practices and to try to compete for the championship, whatever. So could be in the last year under 14, if they are partner clubs and they are not going to compete, or under 15, we start under 15 and the 16, we recruit in Berlin. Yep. You were.
What you've presented refers to men's teams, yes, or women too.
I didn't get your point.
You said because Alba has also the woman competition.
First division.
And how about the academy?
In girls.
Yeah.
What I mentioned, talking about boys, we have exactly for girls. Keep in mind, it's a bit smaller. So we start working with girls serious 5 years ago. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we were in 4th division. When we moved to 3rd division, we took serious. And in a Women Day, we meet all the managers and we decide to go for women basketball. We cancel the cheerleaders, and was a big problem in Berlin, big problem, because our goal was why the boys are playing basketball and the girls are dancing. Our business is basketball. So thank you, cheerleaders. Thank you, good luck. Now we are going to do our business with girls as well. So in that year, we moved from the 3rd division to the 2nd division, and we start working somehow under 18, under 16, under 14. We were very, very low level. We changed from 2 practices through the years to 4 practices, talking about under 14, 16, 18. And then the year before, we moved to 1st division. At the same time, we won, first time ever for us, the under 18 in Germany. By coincidence, we have a group of players, 2004-05, super good, with some 07, and they won by pure coincidence. But we are building. And this year, in our 1st division team, 2 of those players play average 16 and 18 minutes in 1st division in the year under 19. And the 3rd one plays 6 to 7 minutes. So what we have done in 15, 16 years in boys, in girls we have done in 5 years. And we talk about the amount of players we work in the morning. Boys, we are working about 25, 28 players, boys. Girls, we are talking about 6 to 8. So because they are in a sport school as well. But we have in every age 10 to 11 spots for boys and maybe 2 spots for girls. Everything is in process. We are fighting, but everything is in process.
Do you use same facility, the same sport hall? Yeah.
We have 2 facilities, one more for boys, one more for girls, but we share also. And actually, post-season is also perfect time to mix them, to work together. In the morning practice, we normally do, but also post-season, we will talk later about player development and post-season, but it's great time to mix. And then they can see we work the same kind of basketball, the same principles, doesn't matter, women basketball, men basketball.
Have you got same philosophy?
Exactly the same. That's why when we meet coaches, we meet men and women coaches all together.
How many teams, for example, in each category?
Girls.
Are there no, I mean, men and women in Germany or in Berlin? Do you have?
In Berlin,
Yeah.
I have no clue. A lot.
But there is the league. You participate, for example, under 14.
Yeah, but there are
You mentioned like
there are a lot of different divisions. So in under 14 boys, for example, we have Oberliga, means first division. We have 2 groups of 8 teams at the beginning. But then we have Landesliga, which means second division. And I would say we have 32 teams. And then we have Liga, which is 60 teams, the third division. And then we have one more league, the fourth division, which is completely free side time. So I don't have a clue how many. Maybe under 14 in Berlin could be 80 to 100 teams. But the level is super low level in general. But there are a lot of people doing basketball, which is good in the end, having people doing basketball, because those guys who are playing basketball in a low level, they will be parents. In 20 years, they will be parents. And they are going to bring the kids to play basketball earlier. So the level is going to increase. Everything is investment through the time. Guys, coaches, anything else? No? Alex killed you guys. So, okay, let's go to rest, to eat something, and we see each other later. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, big community. Beside the schools and mini basketball under 14 and so on, then the triangle go getting slim, but the social part of basketball means we have under 16, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have under 18, 6, 7, 8. We have under 20, 3, 4, 5. Very low level. Imagine how bad we are with this big amount of basketball people. It's super tough to create basketball players. So we're not talking about quality, we're talking about quantity. People who is around the club. Around 78 schools connected with Alba, where we are working in different ways. It means in many of them, we are the PI teacher assistant. We create, like 10 years ago, this idea. Our vice president, Henning Hanisch, former player, he was trying to find a way to have full-time job for our coaches. So talking with the government, they realized the PI teachers were too old in Germany, especially in Berlin, too old people. So men or women, 62 years old, not able to do many things, need a helper. And it is Alba coach who is doing everything, not only basketball, is doing everything. So we have, since 32 hours a week, 24, 20, 16, depending on the school, teachers, and so on, we are in school. We have in some schools just the extra curricular activity, like basketball, 1.5 hours a week, where we just go, somebody wants to do some basketball. But this is the way to be connected and to increase our community. We have, and this is something you can check in our website, Alba Grundschulliga, Oberschulliga. It is beside the Berlin Basketball Federation. We organize our own competition with those 150, 60 schools. It means every school have 2, 3, 4 different teams, different age, boys and girls, and they play during the whole year, more or less once a month, and at the very end, May, June, they play finals. It's a big party. It's a big basketball party. It means around 10,000 kids connected with Alba somehow. Alba Snupa Grosses Eigen Basketball Academy by Kinder, different projects. Alba Snupa means we go to schools to do some tests, nothing very special, but we have the chance to visit every school, to put our logo in a school and to know who are the kids, to try to recruit who are the good ones. Grosse Zeigen means show how tall you are. Probably everywhere you have this kind of tryout for tall people, to try to find tall people. I think we make very, very nice because we spread in the whole town, in the whole city, and we have normally 200 kids every year. We bring a doctor who have a speech for the families to avoid problems with very tall kids, boys and girls. We bring a nutritionist to talk about how they should eat properly and so on. And obviously, we recruit players from that. Kinder basketball Kita program, many different topics. We can go later in scouting if you want deeper. But basically, the main idea is basketball promotion in the long term is going to be key for you. So this is our picture, what we try to have in Alba Berlin. Our first team in Eurocup or Euroleague, depending. Second team in Pro B, Pro A, depending of the year. This is our first step of professional basketball. One under-19 team where we have our best prospect and we try to really compete. This is the first stage where we really want to compete. And the 16, we have 2-3 teams every year because in Germany you are not allowed to have more than one team in the JBBL competition, which is the national competition. But through some agreements with different clubs, we have 2-3 every year. And then, let's say we start the Leitungssport in under 14, basically with Berliners. We keep 2 teams. We don't have team 1, team 2 in under 14. We have enough players, so we have team blue, team yellow. We have same level in both. They work together, sometimes mixed, sometimes by teams. And at the very end of the year, after Berlin competition, we mix the teams and we go with the best roster for the top 4 in Germany. But sometimes we go, sometimes we stop in Berlin because for us competition in under 14 is not key. For us in under 14, key is to keep the biggest amount of players we can have. Players who, right now, they are not super good, but they could be good in the future. You know, yesterday we were talking about what is more difficult to teach. What is more difficult to teach? How to shoot the ball, how to dribble in the ball, how to pass the ball, or how to be 2 meters 10. So this is quite difficult to teach somebody to be 2 meters 5 or 10. So even if they are super bad, they have skill nobody else have. So they are the guys who keep in mind. Even if in under 14, they don't help to compete. But in some years, they're going to be the players to work with. Okay? More topics. Philosophy. Basically, we try to improve our players. This is the big key. It's not about team. You know, there are one sentence we use a lot. Win games is not the goal. Win games should be the result of the job you have done during the week, during the month, during the season. You know what I mean? It changed a bit. So try to be as better as you can. Don't practice only for the next Sunday game. This is a mistake. Think in the long term. So try to be competitive with the higher number of players possible from your program. But also from time to time, we try to recruit. Be competitive with effort, energy, good work ethic, and it means with soul and mind and soul. Players in our pro roster, German championship, and so on. But the main topic should be we want to build our own players and to try to reach the highest possible level. That's why we work a lot. We work a lot. And how we do that? Basically, we call it intensive training. I don't know if the right word or not, but basically through the concentration, through the game reading and understanding, and reaction, decision making, everybody talks about those topics nowadays. We try to run a way of repetitions, like Coach Alex was talking about, repetition without repetitions. The most important thing for me is game reading and understanding. How we start yesterday the practice trying to teach zone offense without any big rule, just trying to set some ideas where the player by himself, he developed the game. So it was against zone, but also against man and man, also talking about technique and tactique. Everything should be easy, like when we walk, we don't think how to move my legs. So everything should be developed by themselves. And understanding what happened, make it easy for them to understand what happened on the floor. So if when we are under 12, we teach them how to set the pick and roll between our two best players, probably we are going to win the games, because nobody is going to know how to play defense on pick and roll. And if we have two very good players, we are going to win the tournament, the games, whatever. But in a couple of years, two of our players are going to be good. Everybody else is going to leave basketball because they are bored. So as a main idea, everybody should be part of the game. Involve as many players as you can, especially in the youngest ages. Don't keep anybody away from the team. If you have 17 players, keep all of them live. You don't know if the chubby guy with glasses who is at the end of the bench when he's 12, 5 years later is going to be the guy 195 with big frame, in shape, and very smart guy. So keep everybody live. I lost a bit my way, but this is the coaching methodology we like to, running a way of repetition or sets. I don't know if somebody watched basketball from Germany, but you can watch on YouTube, and you can go for the JBBL final this year, or during the year, our games in the JBBL, where we play pretty simple. From time to time, one pick and roll. From time to time, basically 5 guys open, 4 and 1. Sometimes, depending who is the one inside, we play for him. Sometimes he play in a weak side, but by concept, and it's super easy. Because if they learn how to play without too many rules, they're going to find a way to beat the opponent, and later on, using sets, it's going to be quite easy for them. Yeah. If anybody have a question, if not, well, how we spread the idea of coaching our guys. 4 different topics. Obviously, team practices, okay? Player development program. This is quite important, and I'm not going to say make us unique, but make us a bit different, because, and this is a topic for tonight, our player development program, how we work and how we organize. Conditioning practice and psychologist department. To have a psychologist department doesn't mean our players or coaches are crazy. Some of them are, but you know, we are in 2023. Every kid, 14, 15, 16 years old, have so many impacts in daily life and in daily life. You know, this is the new lifestyle. So, you know how much impact they get from everywhere, different part of the society, friends, people who they don't know, and whatever. So, to manage all those info, you know, talking yesterday, we were talking about to basketball in the 80s, where some of us were lucky if we could watch Magic against Larry Bird games once a week. And nowadays, we are just one click to watch any game. If we want to go tonight, Milan in Italy, the Milan final under 14, 2 weeks ago, probably we go to YouTube and we are going to find the game. You know, and we don't know the kids, but if we are trying to find out one kid from Italy under 14 who scored 50 or whatever, we will find that. So the impacts they have, the highlights doesn't help. You know, today everything in NBA is highlights, so our guys get impact completely wrong. How we try to do on court, working good ethic, working with effort, and they just see players in the NBA doing dunks and people on the bench doing doing shit, you know? So to keep them focused, super difficult. We have our coaches also. Our coaches working with our psychologist program, but also doing almost not every week, but twice a month workshop where we talk about social nets. We work about how to handle the games. We work about how to handle the school pressure, how to handle if they have pressure at home, or sometimes even individual problems. But for us, it changed a lot nowadays, and it's very, very important topic.
When do you start to work with kids in the psychology team?
Under 15. Under 15. As I have mentioned before, in our 14, we keep everybody at the same level. When we go to under 15, we have 3 teams in the national competition. Obviously, Alba is our first team, Alba JBBL. We have a cooperation in the south of Berlin. We call it Albas. And it is our under 15 team. And we have a cooperation in the north, which is also our cooperation in Pro B with Lochbernau. And this is our team 3, where we have a mix of people from the north and players who didn't make the team, but they will make by the time. So we have a mix of both ages. But in this JBBL year,
under 16 competition.
yeah, all of them playing under 16. It will change soon to under 15, 17, but at least 1 more year we keep it.
Do you have any problems with depression in the youth group?
Second, sorry.
Do you have any problems with depression in the youth group?
Well, it's a great question because probably it will happen. Not in the last years. No, we didn't have any real problem talking about depression or feeling over pressure or whatever. We have problems with school. We have problems. Yeah, we can call depressive a guy who was depressive after love problems being teenager, you know. But to be honest, we didn't have big problems so far. I don't know if we are doing great, our psychologist team is doing great, or by coincidence, our guys are healthy, and we can't say we have big problems. Well, team practices. Not too much to say. Actually, I don't want to go too deep on this topic. But basically, let's say our first stage for us, more or less, is under 14, where we start with the first ideas. And this is time to explain. When we talk about one unit from the pro team to the under 12, it means also basketball philosophy. Obviously, the EuroLeague team cannot play like our under 12, but our under 12 can do several rules we have in the EuroLeague team. For instance, we have 3 main rules in our club, defensively talking, okay? 3 main rules we can do, or we should, or we must do in every practice, in every game, in every team, okay? For us, this is like a ball pressure is 1, triangles plus minus 1 meter, and ball line. And if you watch an Alba game and you don't see that, I'm going to fire the coach. This is sure, it's a joke. It's a joke. What means ball pressure? I mean, different ways to do it, but we want to be close to the ball. What we try to do in ball pressure is to avoid the ball handler being calm and watching what happens to take the good decision. We want the ball handler keeping protection and thinking not to turn the ball over instead of thinking what is going to be next. Triangles, in different age, we go different kind of passing line. Sometimes we go back to the ball, sometimes we go face to the ball, and sometimes we go just to guns in between. What we try to talk is about the right triangles. It means not too deep, not too high, in the right position. That's why we talk about plus minus 1 meter. And ball line is a very important concept for us because we try to go full court defense the whole game. And as soon the ball is deeper than you are, okay, instead of keeping 4-on-4, you have to run back to the level of the ball. And for a second, even to trap the ball. This is a concept very important, and this is something you can see in any Alba Pro Team game. Those concepts you can realize in every game. And this is what we try to do, for example, from the Pro Team to the under 14. Very basic in under 14. And I don't say first stage is, I don't want to say under 14 because it depends on every generation. You know, probably in every conference you have, when somebody talk about the year plan, everybody's asking, do you have a year plan for the under 14? What are the concepts you want to work in under 14, right? This is a big question everywhere. Oh, what are the concepts you work in the year under 16? And for that, we don't have answer. Why? Because every generation is different. So our 2009 is a great generation in under 14, very nice bodies, super athletic, and very good in general. No bigs, no small guys, everybody average, and super athletics. But the 2010 is completely different. We have many very short guys, very good ball handlers, and we have tall guys, very bad. They don't have a clue how to play ball. So for those 2 generations in the same year, in the last year and the 14, should they play the same kind of basketball? Should we plan the same kind of practices? Obviously, part of the basketball is just basketball. They are going to do more or less the same. But the year plan is not going to be the same because every player, every group have a different speed of learning, of development. That's why we don't like to call under 14 because maybe even in under 15, we keep the basics because they are not enough good to go for the next step. Second stage should be under 16, more or less. We start with some team concepts. Obviously, in defense, since under 14, we start with the concept of transition game, outlet pass, running the lanes, spacing in offense, half court, how to share the ball, what is a good shot, what is a bad shot, and so on. Third stage should be sometimes in the JBBL, sometimes depending if they are very good, they go for next step in the JBBL and the 16, sometimes in second year of MBBL. It depends. Every generation, different speed. We go for the tactic charge because probably you know in Germany you are not allowed, for example, to play zone until under 19. So what they face at that age is a lot, because it's not only to start playing pick and roll, to start playing hand off or whatever. It's to face first time zone, which is plenty of work to do. Test your game at the pro level. For us, this is our second team. Okay, at some point, it doesn't mean they are seniors. Many of our guys in second year MBBL or third year MBBL, they are already in second team or even pro team, but you have to prove yourself at that point. And one specific thing we like a lot is, because we have done in different clubs, we don't like to have our second team under our name. I'm going to explain. We don't like to have Alba 2 playing in a small gym with nobody watching the games and with zero pressure. That's why our second team is in cooperation with Lokbernau. Lokbernau is 25 kilometers far from downtown in Berlin, in the north. They're in super nice club, very, very old club with very good tradition and with big amount of fans. So they wear also yellow, different yellow, but they have fans. So on Saturday, when you play Pro B, you are not playing for Alba, you're playing from Bernau, and you have 1,000 people on stands watching and supporting you. So it doesn't mean we have to win or you can't lose or whatever, but you start feeling this. I mean, there are people around. It's not, I come here, zero pressure, I shoot the hook, and everything is fine. Now you are representing a brand, not only Alba, it's also Bernau, and you have to do your best. That's why we don't like to have second team, our under brand, our brand, and they start feeling the pro level, even being second or third division. And then the fifth or the final for us is the beginning, is the first step, is the beginning. You know, time ago, I think he was 2002 generation, now he's 21 years old. When he was 17 years old, big man 210. Many injuries between under 14 and 17. And in the year under 17, he said, Coach, I'm gonna quit. I don't see myself. You know, many years playing basketball, I think it's time to stop my career. I said, you're wrong. No, Coach, I'm not good enough. I'm tall, but not good enough, and I don't see myself. You're an idiot. What you have done is nothing. Now is the beginning. Now you are a man. You are 17. You are 210. Now you're going to start learning how to play basketball. It's not late, especially for big men. To start late is not late. To start at the 17, 18 is not late. It's the right time, because they are enough mature to understand what happened around. Nowadays, he's playing in NBC, in the BBL, as a 4 big men. But he made it. He is professional. So that's why many people think this is the end. It's the end of the youth program. That's all. Well, this is something I'm going to go very quick. Take a look if you have any, because this is what I mentioned before through the 5 stages, but basically is how to build a team through the years. Okay, not too many things to talk. The individual basics we would like to care, passing, the dribbling, shooting, footwork, rebound. One-on-one for us, one-on-one is one basic. It's important basic, you know. And maybe now is time to talk about how to practice. So Coach Alex was talking about to make it real, right? And sometimes make me think, probably when shit, I forgot the name of the basketball creator. What's his name? Okay, when he invented basketball, how do you think at that point were the practices? I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. But if I have to guess, I would say they play. Right? We invent the game and we play. And then maybe years later, somebody said, hey, the most important thing is to shoot the ball. Let's do some extra shots. And somebody start doing shooting drills. And maybe later on, somebody start talking about passing or dribbling, or let's plan how to play defense. So they destroy the game and make it analytic, right? And at some point, it was too much analytic.